In this video, we are going to recreate the Phantom Bloom design from Maniology's Box of Gloom, which, of course, is their Halloween countdown box from this year. I'm going to do a quick and easy gradient here, but I'm doing more of a color block instead of stripes. They had some stripes in the example design. Every year, Maniology does a holiday countdown or advent box for both Halloween and Christmas. I love spooky season, so I always try to get a hold of their Halloween boxes. I did end up grabbing the Christmas box last year, and I'm super excited for this year's box. You have to set a calendar reminder to get a hold of them quickly before they sell out. Here I am blotting off the excess lacquer onto a notebook paper before I go in with the gradient. We definitely don't want goopy paint. Less is more. Now we're just gonna finish up the second coat of the gradient tips, and then we can move on to our shimmer. If you have strong feelings about the dynamic subtitles, please let me know in the comments. I'm using OPI's shade, for Oz's sake, as the shimmer. I'm removing the tip from the sponge just so I can have a clean surface, and then we'll go ahead and put a light layer on top of the gradient tips. It's kind of hard to see on this camera, but it's a subtle blue tinted shimmer. We're moving on to some stamping, so I'll prepare the plates. I got a new bottle of straight up black for the occasion. This specific label adhesive really works better on the lid. Let me get that in place, and I'll also pop off the back if I can. I almost always scare myself if that comes off while I'm trying to pick up an image. This image needs a lot of paint, and I didn't get all of the details in the first attempt. Here I am checking how much of the image will fit on the nail tip, and also get an idea of how many ghosties I need to paint. Okay, this attempt is much better. I do like to clean up the edges, even though it won't actually touch the nail tip. I don't want the gradient or shimmer to smudge, so I am popping on a coat of smudge-free top coat. Move over to the next image. I waited just a few seconds too long to pick it up. Good enough. This one is going straight to the tip as a background for the ghosty. Let me just tuck these edges over and I'll clean it up later. It doesn't really matter that it's not perfectly centered, since it's just going to be a background for a ghosty anyway, but I do have some touch-up spots for sure. I was going to try to get the ghosty picked up, but as you can see, the struggle was real, okay? I tried different stampers, even a different ghost. You know, sometimes it's me. I am the problem. I had to take a break from stampers, and I went with one of the nail stickers for this ghosty tip. I do actually have a spooky story for you, and I also made a basic floor plan of the house just to give you a better picture of where everything was when it was happening. So I recently went to see one of my old friends at her home, and it was actually my first time ever going to this place. It was her mom's house before she had lost her battle with cancer, and my friend ended up moving in to help with her father. Okay. I can't remember what happened first, but at some point the TV bar, the sound bar, it reset itself and the TV detected a new sound device. So like my friend, she thought this was weird since it had never happened before. Then she goes into the kitchen and starts working on some dishes and a snack for her youngest. I was sitting on the sectional or maybe on the floor at that time, and her youngest was sitting in front of her at the island. There were no other humans in the house at that time. At some point, the lights above the kitchen island began to flicker, and just a few seconds later, the door to the laundry room closed and reopened by itself, okay? Like the door went from being fully open to almost fully closed, and then back to fully open, almost like someone was grabbing something on the wall behind the door and coming back out of the room, okay? Now, she has cats there, but they were stationary. One was bread loafing in front of the door, and another was on the counter in the laundry room. Neither looked like they had moved at all. It was like a person was manipulating the door. I've never had anything like this happen before in front of me. Do you have any spooky stories that you want to share in the comments below? Or maybe just let me know what your favorite part of spooky season is. Okay, I've finished the touch-ups using Holo Taco One Coat Black, and I'm going to protect the image with Smudge Free Top Coat. Now that it's dry, I'm going to put the blue shimmer over the background like in the example design. And then we are going to start gently painting our images that we picked up on all of the stampers. I think I forgot to record the next day image pickups. When in doubt, swap it out. Meaning, use a different stamper for the job if it's not working out. And try not to get frustrated if you're struggling with stamping. I'm going to finish all of the white designs using Holo Taco Non-Milky White. Just gotta clean off my little palette for the next Holo Taco shade, High Tea Hibiscus. I really like using Holo Taco's creams in nail art since they are super opaque. If you happen to have a thinner shade that you're using to paint in the images, you'll definitely want to let the paint dry before you go in with your second coat to achieve full opacity. I'm using ORLY's Bonder base coat as a sticky base to transfer the images to the tips. I placed this one just below where I needed it to be, so I just need to touch that up right quick. Now I am finally ready to clean up the edges and wrap this up with some smudge-free top coat, and then I'll top it all off with a quick dry glossy top coat. I've got all products that I use listed at the very end and also in the video description below. In my next long form video, we will recreate the Harvest Haunt design that you are about to see on my dominant hand. If you need to grab supplies from Maniology, don't forget to use code Cerulean10 to help support the channel and also save 10% off your order. Excluding subscriptions, of course. I really appreciate your support, and thank you so much for being here.